Welcome, everybody, to Aaron's High Cap Adventure radio program. I'm your host, Matt Betros, and we are live. Today is July 4th, 2015, and we're going to be here for the next approximately 29 minutes. We've got some interesting stuff going on today. I'm pretty excited. I'm always excited when I get here. I've got so much information I want to talk about, and the problem is trying to figure out what I want to say first or what I want to say during the duration of the show. And because of that, I have a tendency to talk pretty fast. So I have to force myself to slow down, calm down, so that people can actually understand what I'm saying. But we're going to have a good day today with some interesting things. And I wanted to go over the highlights of this upcoming show, or this show today. Last week, if you were with us last week, we were talking about concealed carry. And just as a reminder, I'm an instructor, certified instructor for the state of Texas as a concealed carry instructor. And we went over signage as it pertained to concealed carry. So this week, today, we're going to go over Penal Code 4603, places weapons prohibited. And that's going to be very good information because a lot of people, they may know about it, they may not even know about it, have an idea of where they can go and where they can't go. But we're going to really nail it down as to what that pertains to, Penal Code 4603. And of course, since today is July 4th, I'm going to be reading a special letter from a guest from the past. In the past, his name is Thomas Paine. Some of you may know him, some of you may not. The ones who know of him, you're going to get the lump in your throat again. And the ones that don't know of Thomas Paine, I truly believe you're going to appreciate this. So we'll be reading a letter from him. Then that's going to be concerning the American crisis. And then we're going to do our gun demonstration like we always do. Now, this one's going to be tricky. We're going to be talking about indexing the handgun. Indexing the handgun is very important, but I'm going to try to convey it to you verbally, although you can go check out my website or KTEM's YouTube channel and look at this video come probably Monday afternoon, and you can actually see what I'm doing. It'll probably be about the 20-minute mark about indexing the handgun. And then, of course, we're going to go over another product that I actually design and make myself, handcraft it, and we'll be going over that. It's called the Chester. It's a concealment holster, and I think you're going to find that very interesting. But what I'd like to do first, though, I'm very excited about this, too. We have a sponsor who likes what we're doing, agrees with what we do and what we say pretty much most of the time, and they wanted to sponsor the program. So I wanted to mention that and tell you who they are. So before we get into the CHL segment of the show, I want to tell you about Standards of Care Home Health and Hospice. Tommy Standard, the owner of Standards of Care Home Health and Hospice, believes that you deserve compassionate, honest, and reliable care from only the finest healthcare professionals who go the extra mile. They provide in-home services for skilled nursing, home health aides, physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, and social workers. Standards of Care Home Health and Hospice staff of nurses and therapists are there to provide high-quality, safe and cost-effective patient care, whether you're in-home, assisted living facility, or in a family friend's home. So call Standards of Care Home Health and Hospice for more info. The number is, get ready now, is 254-482-1799. Again, 254-482-1799. We all know somebody who could use this care. I know Tommy Standard personally. Fantastic guy. He won't do you wrong. Okay? So with that, let's move on to CHL. Since time is limited, I want to get right into it. And we were discussing Penal Code 4603. That's places weapons prohibited. And once again, I want to remind everybody, I am a certified instructor with the state of Texas to teach concealed carry. And I've taught many classes, I've taught many people, and I've gone through this law book many times. And it's my job, it's my duty to make sure I know what I'm talking about so I don't mislead people. And what I like to do is break it down and make it simple. Legalese, when they write it in legalese, it has a tendency to make your eyes cross. And I don't like to look around cross-eyed, and I don't like people looking at me cross-eyed. So what I try to do is get it down to the most basic form. So I'm going to read Penal Code 4603 verbatim, and then we're just going to go over bits and pieces that may cause a little bit of confusion or concern. So with no further ado, let me find the proper page. And let me read to you now Penal Code Section 4603 as it pertains to concealed carry. Places, weapons prohibited. This section makes it an offense to possess or carry any weapon into the following places, even if the person is a license holder. Now, let me make something clear before I go even further. This particular section Well, scrap that. What I like to do is I like to go above and beyond what the law expects of me, because I don't want to take any chances. And to go above and beyond what the law tells me to do is not a major issue with me. It doesn't take much to do what I'm about to tell you. And that's this. Whether or not you can go into certain places is based on what the law says here in Penal Code 4603 and if people put up signs. But in 4603, if there's a sign up or if there's not a sign up saying that you can't go in there, don't go in there. So if there's something in the law book says there's got to be a sign posted and there's not one, that doesn't mean you can go in. If there is a sign posted, you can't go in. So what I tell my students is, I don't care if there's a sign up or not. You need to burn these particular places into memory. Whether there's a sign up or not, you need to know these are the places, period, bottom line, I'm not going into. Even if I do have a license to carry a handgun concealed, I can't go in here. So here we go with those. First one here, physical premises of a public or private school or institution, comma, new thought, grounds where a school-sponsored activity is being conducted, or passenger transportation vehicle of a school, unless pursuant to written regulations or authorization of the institution. Premises of a polling place on election day or during early voting. They don't want you to sway the vote, I guess. Premises of a government court or offices used by court, unless pursuant to written regulations or authorization of the court. Premises of a racetrack. Secured area of an airport. Within 1,000 feet of premises, the location of which is designated by the Texas Department of Criminal Justice as a place of execution under Article 43.19 Code of Criminal Procedures on a day that a sentence of death is set to be imposed on the designated premises, and the person received notice that A, going within 1,000 feet of the premises with a weapon listed under the subsection was prohibited, or B, possession of a weapon listed under this subsection within 1,000 feet of the premises was prohibited. Now, this is important. This section defines premises to include a building or a portion of a building. It does not include, I say again, it does not include driveways, streets, sidewalks, walkways, parking lots, or garages. An offense under this section is a third-degree felony, 2 to 10 years. Now, I emphasize the premise part of it because let's go back to the first one we read about. And it says the physical premises of a public or private school or institution. I ask my students, can I go into a school building with a concealed weapon? And the answer is no. I say, can I go up to the front door on the sidewalk and look in, peering through the glass with a concealed weapon on the front sidewalk? And a lot of them will say, no, you can't do that. Well, that's incorrect because a sidewalk is not a premise. The law is written specifically, and each word means something specifically. You need to learn what it means, its definitions, and how it applies to you. So a premise is not the sidewalk. Another one, let's talk about the airport. It says here, secured area of an airport. I ask my students, can you go into an airport with a concealed weapon? And a lot of them say, no way. I say, well, let's think about it. Let's read what the law says. Secured area of an airport. What is the secured area of an airport? That's the part where you go through your monitors and TSA gropes you, puts their hand down your pants and all that. That's the secured part. The only problem now is I won't get near an airport with a concealed weapon because TSA is now considering that the parking lot, in most cases, this is not definite in all cases, but I'm not going to take the chance that the parking lot is under surveillance and security. So I don't know what the deal is, but unless I've got to transport my handgun from point A to point B in another part of the state, I'm not bringing a handgun near an airport. It's not worth it. Now, one more thing on that. The grounds where a school-sponsored activity is being conducted. Being conducted. That's very important to me. It doesn't say grounds where school-sponsored activities take place. It says grounds where school-sponsored activities are being conducted. That's present tense. So if you're walking track at 8 o'clock at night at a school and there's no signs posted that you can't go in there and there's no school function or activity going on, you can walk around the track. But if they've got something going on, school hours, and there's a function going on, it's being conducted, no, of course not, you can't go in there. Okay, so we want to make sure that we're paying attention to the law. But my main emphasis on Penal Code 4603 is that whether there's a sign up or not, make sure you know it, read it, learn it, understand it, and burn it into memory so that you don't go into a place you're not supposed to go. I would love to go into it more in depth, and I could for another 30 to 40 minutes, but time does not permit. So all of you people who are CHL holders, look up Penal Code 4603, read it, burn it into memory. Okay. Moving on, I want to go over some Aaron's promos real quick. I've got a bunch of stuff here. It's a busy week coming up. July 11th at the range this week, this upcoming July 11th, this Friday night, will be our next pistol round robin competition. The times are tight on these events, so if you wish to participate, listen up. You've got to be here by 6:30 p.m. at Aaron's Gun Shop in Cameron. There'll be no sign-ups after 6:45 p.m. and the competition starts promptly at 7 p.m. and the entry fee is $20. And this month's prize winner is the Citadel M122 carbine. Pretty nice gun. Check it out on the aaronsgunshop.com. And you can go on the homepage of aaronsgunshop.com and click on the link that explains the rules concerning the pistol competition. Then July 12th. This is real big. This is cool. This is great. I can't wait to see you guys here. This is at ANC Firearms in Heidenhammer between the hours of 2 and 4 p.m. Myself and my crew will be there to meet and greet all those who wish to attend. My consultants will talk to you about upcoming class dates, setting up your own dates if you have enough people to do so, and seminars that we offer and details about Aaron's and the gun range and demoing a whole bunch of products. So I'm going to be there to help and guide you in the proper techniques on selecting a handgun. You know, if you're looking for one and you're not sure what to buy, I can give you a whole bunch of tips. And Arch has got plenty of guns there. He can show you. We can put some different guns in your hand and find the one that's best for you. There's no charge for this. Just come on out. Let's meet each other and we can help each other out. Then last week we talked about our July 5th, 25th seminar for M4. Unfortunately, that has been canceled due to something unexpected. My instructor will be out of town, cannot make it. But we are switching it over to a co-ed handgun seminar. Please go to the website, the high cap page, for details on that. That'll be a very, it's good for men and women. It's co-ed. It's going to be going over handgun, functioning, malfunctions, how to properly use it, going through your home, room to room, the proper techniques and procedures, things like that. Go to the website once again to check that out. If you wish to call up the program here, the phone number here is 254-773-1400. This is KTEM 1400, and the phone number 254-773-1400. Or you can send me an email at aaronsgunshop@gmail.com. And once again, the website is aaronsgunshop.com. So go check out those or give me a call. But I want to introduce to you now a very, very special guest. I can't say he's a friend of mine. He's been dead for quite a while. His name is Thomas Paine. And I get a lump in my throat every time I think about what I'm about to read to you. And I hope you get the lump too. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off and tell you who Thomas Paine is. I'm going to read to you from the book, Our Country's Founders by William J. Bennett. So sit down, relax, and give me your ear and check this out. This is 4th of July. It's very important. What he writes here, you could put it today, without a doubt. Thomas Paine, The American Crisis, December 19th, 1776. Thomas Paine was a writer who was born and raised in England. He came to America in 1774 and soon became a strong advocate for the American cause. For those colonists who didn't know why American independence was so important and worth fighting for, Paine's famous pamphlet, Common Sense, released in January 1776, told them. The following excerpt is taken from a later work, The American Crisis, written at a critical juncture of the Revolution. George Washington was leading the Continental Army on a retreat through New Jersey after a disastrous defeat in New York. Paine accompanied Washington and his troops and saw firsthand the growing sense of desperation among the army. The American troops were greatly outnumbered by the British. Many were ready to give up and reconcile with Great Britain. It looked as if the rebellion was coming to an abrupt end. Paine wrote The American Crisis reportedly using a battle drum for a desk by the light of a campfire to boost morale. He left the camp for Philadelphia to have copies printed, which Washington ordered to be read aloud to his men on Christmas Eve, 1776. After it was read, the American troops crossed the Delaware and launched a surprise attack on the Hessian soldiers at Trenton. The American victory at Trenton infused new life into the Patriots' cause and showed the British that the American army was not ready to bow out. Now I read to you his letter. This gets me. This is great. You ready? Here we go. These are the times that try men's souls. The summer soldier and the sunshine patriot will in this crisis shrink from the service of his country. But he that stands now deserves the love and thanks of man and woman. Tyranny, like hell, is not easily conquered. Yet we have this consolation with us that the harder the conflict, the more glorious the triumph. What we obtain too cheap, we esteem too lightly. 'Tis dearness only that gives everything its value. Heaven knows how to put a proper price upon its goods, and it would be strange indeed if so celestial an article as freedom should not be highly rated. Britain, with an army to enforce her tyranny, has declared that she has a right not only to tax, but to bind us in all cases whatsoever. And if being bound in that manner is not slavery, then there is not such a thing as slavery upon the earth. Even the expression is impious, for so unlimited a power can belong only to God. I call not upon a few, but upon all, not on this state or that state, but on every state. Up and help us. Lay your shoulders to the wheel. Better to have too much force than too little, when so great an object is at stake. Let it be told to the future world that in depth of winter, when nothing but hope and virtue could survive, the city and the country, alarmed at one common danger, came forth to meet and repulse it. Say not thousands are gone. Turn out your tens of thousands. Throw not the burden of the day upon providence, but show your faith by your works, that God may bless you. It matters not where you live, or what rank of life you hold. The evil or the blessings will reach you all. The far and the near, the home counties and the back, the rich and the poor will suffer or rejoice alike. The heart that feels not now is dead. The blood of his children will curse his cowardice, who shrinks back at a time when a little may have saved the whole and made them happy. I love the man that can smile in trouble, that can gather strength from distress, grow brave by reflection. 'Tis the business of little minds to shrink. But he whose heart is firm and whose conscience approves his conduct will pursue his principles unto death. My own line of reasoning is to myself as straight, as clear as a ray of light. Not all the treasures of the world, so far as I believe, could have induced me to support an offensive war, for I think it murder. But if a thief breaks into my house, burns and destroys my property, and kills or threatens to kill me, or those who are in it, and to bind me in all cases whatsoever, to whose absolute will am I to suffer it? What signifies it to me whether he does it as a king or a common man, my countryman, not my countryman, whether it be done by an individual villain or an army of them? If we reason to the root of things, we shall find no difference. Neither can any just cause be assigned why we should punish the one in one case and pardon in the other. Let them call me rebel and welcome. I feel no concern from it. I thank God, I fear not. I see no real cause for fear. I know our situation well and can see a way out of it. That was Thomas Paine. We're in the same situation, everybody. So put your shoulder to the wheel. Stand up. There's three types of people in this world. They're the informed, there's the ignorant, and they're the idiots. I'm talking to the informed, and I'm talking to the ignorant. There's two groups of informed people, those who know and do, and those who know. The ones who know, I'm talking to you. Get up and do something. Share the word. Talk to people. Explain to them. Give them meaning for that flag. Show them what it took to get that flag. If you're ignorant, okay, you're ignorant. You're not aware. Well, I'm telling you now, this country's in peril. It needs help. And what's going to fix it is by everybody learning, standing up at the same time and saying, hey, stop doing that. If you're an idiot, I got no use for you. You're going to hurt somebody, yourself. You're going to probably hurt me. So move on. But those are my thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. Change the station or get your own program. But that's where we're at, and we need to fix it. So I say God bless America, and let's keep moving on to stop our spiraling down. Okay. Let us move on. I want to talk to you about a product that I make personally, and it's called the Chester, and I'm going to show it to you right here on the video. If you can't see it, I'm going to try to explain it on the radio. I have a North American Arms mini revolver. They come in 22, 22 Magnum. They also come in conversion kits too, 22 Magnums. But this particular one that I have around my neck is a 22 long rifle mini revolver, 1 1/8 inch barrel. I make these holsters out of Kydex. It wraps all the way around the barrel and the cylinder of the gun. And what's nice about these guns is that they're made very well. They're very compact, and when you utilize it with my holster, the Chester, which goes around your neck with a lanyard and rests in between. I made it basically for guys. I've got another one for women. I call it the Buster. I'll be explaining that one next week. But this one here, since guys don't have the same anatomy, I had to design it a little bit differently. So it's hanging off the neck, although women can wear it as well. And it goes in between the recesses of your pec muscles, your chest muscles. And it sits in there quite nicely. So if you have a shirt on and you put this on and it goes underneath your shirt, you're not even going to see it. But what's nice about it is, if you do need it, all you have to do is go underneath your T-shirt, grab it, and pull it out. If you have a button-up shirt, rip your shirt open and grab it. Now, you can't see this on the radio, so I'm going to just show it to the people on the video here. And if you get a chance, go to my website, aaronsgunshop.com, and go to the radio page, and you will get to see the video probably up Monday, and it'll be about the 20-minute mark. So here we are. You can see me in the camera here. I'm wearing the Chester. I'm going to put it under the shirt. You can't see it now. It's nice and flush, very concealable, very light, very portable. If something, God forbid, does happen, I reach under the shirt, I acquire the grip, and there it is, right there. And it's very easy to put back in. Obviously, point it away from you, snap it back into place, and there she is. Excellent product. Works great. I call these the pocket knife of the gun world. Don't leave home without them. Okay, they're very good guns. Go to my website, aaronsgunshop.com, and you can go to the products page. I also have a video up there showing you how it works, so even if you can't see it on the radio, you can go to my website and check it out. They go for $30. Don't leave home without it. So if you have a North American Arms mini revolver, it doesn't matter what size, up to 1 5/8 inch. I do them for the Pugs, I do them for the Magnums, I do them for the 22s. Just give me a call, or you can actually order it online, or I can custom make one for you as well. Okay, time's ticking away, so let me get up here. I want to do some gun training too. This one's going to be kind of difficult too, and I'm going to try it, but it's too important for me not to try it, and it's called indexing. And we're going to use this gun right here. And what do we do, ladies and gentlemen? I've been on the air now. This is the third week, I believe. Third week, right? We always make sure that weapon is unloaded. So we take the mag out, nothing in the magazine, rack the slide to the rear, check the chamber, and look in the mag. The weapon is clear. I want to talk to you about indexing. Indexing is a technique where, let's say you're going to do a mag change. You're going to load your gun up, and you're in a situation where you can't take your eyes off the threat. Indexing is keeping the weapon between you and the threat at eye level. So I'm going to try and do this as briefly as I can and as clearly as I can, so stick with me. Always pick the gun up with your shooting hand. That's assuming that your shooting hand, your dominant hand, has not been injured. Okay? We are going to put it in front of our face, in front of our line of sight, kind of lean forward. And there's different techniques from different people. This is my technique. I've kind of polished it up where I like it. It seems to work best for me. But I'm going to be leaning it away from my face, but the muzzle will be in the line of sight of my dominant eye as I'm continuing to look at the threat. This way I can always tell what the threat's doing, but I also have the gun in my line of sight. The other part that I like is my non-dominant eye lines up with the butt of the gun, where the magazine goes into the magazine well, the grip part. So if you can see this on video, the barrel lines up with my dominant eye, my left eye, and the butt of the gun lines up with my weak eye. So as I go to load, I'm maintaining focus on the threat. And the reason we do that is, God forbid something happens and I load the gun, I have quick access or quick pointing to the threat. I can take the shot, whereas if it's off my line of sight, then I got to bring it back into my line of sight, find the target, and then take the shot. But if you're looking here, I've got the gun in my shooting hand. It's in my line of sight. I get the magazine in my non-shooting hand, and I'm able to line it up here, indexing it, because I can see both, slam it in, rack the slide, and I'm ready to go, but it stays in my line of sight. So indexing is a very important technique. You should learn how to perfect it. Take one of my classes, one of my seminars, and we go over that. And it becomes second nature once you really get to put your hands on it and see me do it in person. But go to the video, like I said, aaronsgunshop.com, or go to KTEM's YouTube channel, and you get to see it there probably Monday. Okay. How much time we got? 5 minutes? Great. I wanted to read something else to you. Since I got a couple extra minutes, I wanted to go back to Thomas Paine. There's a few other quotes that are very important for July 4th. This one's from Washington. I've had posters made up, too, by the way, with his quote on it. Very nice. Let's see if I can get some more made up. Here's a quote from Washington. Whereas it is the duty of all nations to acknowledge the providence of Almighty God, to obey His will, to be grateful for His benefits, and humbly implore His protection and favor. It's awesome. July 4th, thank you. I'm just so thankful for this day and what it represents. Freedom, not 4th of July sales at Lowe's and all these other places. John Adams. Our Constitution was made up for a moral and religious people. It is wholly inadequate to the government of any other. And Thomas Jefferson. Can the liberties of a nation be secure when we have removed the conviction that these liberties are a gift from God? So, ladies and gentlemen, I go back to the 4th of July thing. People say, well, what's 4th of July to you? 4th of July to me is an acknowledgement of all those men and women who wore a uniform and who haven't worn a uniform for the service, dedication, and protection of a Constitution that we hold so dear that is being torn to shreds by our current politicians. I'm a straight shooter. I don't like BS. Politicians are full of it. So all I ask is that you go down to the most finite root cause of everything that's happening, and you'll see a lot of times it comes to them. People are making decisions that are ridiculous. No person with common sense would make these decisions. There's agendas out there. So I said before, put your shoulder to the wheel. Everybody unite and say, hey, enough of this. Let's get this country back to the way it used to be, where it was a leader for good purpose. Okay, as time dwindles on, let me talk to you again one more time about my sponsor here. Tommy Standard, the owner of Standards Care and Home Health and Hospice, believes that you deserve compassionate, honest, and reliable care from the finest healthcare professionals who go the extra mile. They provide in-home services for skilled nursing, home health aides, physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, and social workers. And Standards of Care, Home Health, and Hospice staff and nurses and therapists are there to provide high quality, safe, and cost-effective patient care, whether you're in your home, assisted living facility, or in a family friend's home. So again, call Standards of Care, Home Health, Standards of Care, Home Health, and Hospice for more info. And again, the number is 254-482-1799. Paul, how much time I got? Okay, let me give you a few things on next week's show. We talked about Penal Code 46003 this week. Next week, we're going to go over Penal Code 46035, unlawful carrying of a weapon by a license holder, as compared to places you can't go. This is the unlawful way to carry in Penal Code 46035. Then we're going to talk about some fundamentals of being prepared for natural and man-made disasters. And like I mentioned earlier, we're going to talk about my other product that I make, custom fit. It's called the Buster. It's the concealment holster for the North American Arms mini revolver for women, and maybe a couple other things if we've got the time. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, we have many things going on at Aaron's Gun Shop, so go to aaronsgunshop.com. Give me an email at aaronsgunshop@gmail.com, or you just give us a call there at the number on the website, and you can sign up for our CHL class. But don't forget, A&C Firearms, this upcoming Saturday between 2 and 4. I'll be there. My staff will be there. And would love to meet and greet you, and I can help you select the perfect handgun, and we'll just have a great time. So until next week, take care, and God bless America.